planning, goal setting, and making lasting.
And once again, television family, we gather in front of the warmth of our high-definition televisions and do more TV, local entertainment, just plain local. It is Thursday, 26th day of October, 2023. I am Dan Kuntz, your host for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Got a jam-packed show for you today. Normally, I don't promise a five-star show on a Thursday. We save those for Fridays, but man, we got that scenario. We have 5 pounds worth of programming and a 4-pound bag to get it in. Well, we're going to do our best. With that all-important weather forecast, it's cold right now, or chilly anyway. 37 is our temperature right now, which is actually just about normal for the overnight low, but our afternoon high ain't going to be normal. We're going to be under the influence of a high-pressure ridge begin to build up today. The scenario is pretty good for this time of the year. In the dead of winter, when we have clouds and fog, and a high-pressure ridge builds and stays, then we get the low clouds and the fog and the stagnant air. That happens in December and January and into February, but if we have clear skies when the high-pressure ridge builds up, then we have sunshine, but it's going to be chilly. Forecast details are on the way, and a lot of news, and an old Seahawk friend of ours who left town 5 years ago, won a couple of Super Bowls with Kansas City. He's coming back, Frank Clark. We'll have that in sports, and the prep season for a lot of teams are either wrapping up the regular season this week or the playoffs have already begun. We'll get that in when we get to sports. It is Thursday. It's Pause for Pets. Wally the dog needs a forever home. Maybe you can help out our friends, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And it's back again this year. They already had their first week last weekend. I'm talking about Haunted Museum, the big haunted house spooktacular, if you will, at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. They take you all over the building. They scare you pretty good. Mark Belton is the creative guy behind all of this. They had a great first weekend, and the second weekend is coming up, so we're going to preview. If you want to have a good time during the Halloween season, Mark Belton will tell you how you can enjoy the Haunted Museum. That'll be in the back half of the program. Let's start our tour around the valley with still a half an hour to go before the sun creeps up over the East Wenatchee bench. Sunrise this morning, 7:35. Sunset tonight, 5:54. That's 10 hours and 19 minutes of daylight for us here in the Wenatchee Valley. We're giving East Wenatchee a pretty good dose of love here from our Wenatchee Heights camera. It's going to be lots of sunshine and quite chilly right through the weekend. We're going to eventually warm up to near normal by our afternoon highs. That's not going to be until Monday of next week. To the Cougar Ridge camera on the north side of town. See what's happening out in Old Station. There you go. You can see a little sliver of the Otobashan Bridge. Things are pretty quiet. Good morning to Sunny Slope in Omi Gardens and Sleepy Hollow, places to the north of us. That's from our Cougar Ridge camera. High top, well, a tower by Cougar Ridge. I think I just gilded the lily there. The Omi Garden camera looks really good this morning. Check this out. Isn't that cool? From our Omi Gardens camera, if you look across the way, you can see the cross at the tip of the Wenatchee Heights. Again, these two cameras are about at the same elevation. And we say hello to our friends out in the Old Station area and number 1 Canyon camera. Hello, kids. That's 5th Street that you see there in Wenatchee Avenue. That's is up number 1 Canyon, looking out over towards the Wenatchee Valley, the west side of the city of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee proper. This is going to be the time of the year now, with sunrise coming later and later, that we're not going to be able to see a great deal with our PTZ cameras until the sun gets the job done, and it will be in the not-too-distant future. This is an updated slide that we showed you from a couple of days ago. Just a friendly reminder, it's going to be very cold. If you haven't blown out your irrigation lines yet, you better get on it, folks, because we're going to be well below freezing by the time we get to Friday night and Saturday night. In fact, even record low temperatures are possible. So it's time to, if you haven't done it already, to blow out your irrigation lines, winterize your house, dig out the long underwear if you're going to be outside. Going to be a lot of people at Wildcat Stadium tomorrow night for the Moses Lake Mavericks and the East Mile Wildcat football game. Bundle up, folks. It's going to be cold. It'll probably be below freezing by the time the game ends tomorrow night. So just a heads up on that. So get ready for some really, really cold temperatures. You might want to make sure your furnace is ready to go. From the National Weather Service, partly sunny skies today, or partly cloudy, it depends. Snow level right now is at 1,500 feet, but there's really nothing out there. There's no moisture in the air. So we're not looking at any rain or snow today. High of about 45 degrees. Snow level tonight is going to go down to 800 feet because it's going to be really cold. But again, there's no moisture in the air, so we're not worried about snow or rain. But 29 for the overnight low. That's getting down there. For Friday, lots of sunshine, nice light wind, a high of 44. Our normal high this time of the year is 55. So as you can see, we're going to be below normal all the way through the forecast period. But we're going to have bountiful sunshine. But boy, once that sun goes down, it gets cold. 24 for the overnight low Friday night. That's going to be really close to a record low for that date tomorrow. Close to a record low on Saturday, close to a record low on Sunday. It's all possible. A little bit warmer each day, starting on Sunday and then Monday. And then we start seeing maybe a few clouds on Tuesday and Wednesday. So lots of sunshine under the influence of high pressure, but very chilly temperatures. Both our afternoon highs and our overnight lows, not only below normal, but well below normal as we're getting ready to wrap up October. There's a soccer player behind me. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will do the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, this is Frank Kuntz, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee. Mike Poyer will make a great mayor. Mike is consistent, he's thoughtful, he shows up, he's prepared, and he always gets to the right answer. Mike just loves this town. He was born and raised here. He has a passion for making this place better, as we all do. And it's been a pleasure working with him on Wenatchee City Council for the past 4 years, and I just look forward to having him lead our city going forward. So join me in voting for Mike Poyer, Mayor.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey folks, Lehman here with Crown Furniture and Mattress. Folks, there's no question if you're looking for top quality furniture and mattresses, Crown Furniture and Mattress is the place for you. Whether it's FlexSteel's patented blue steel spring, Englander's 120 years of innovation, or Stan's incredible comfort. Folks, we have it all. So stop by and see us today at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue.
High clouds, we are at 37 degrees. Those high clouds will begin to filter out as the day progresses. Quite a bit of sunshine for most of the afternoon right through the weekend, but cold temperatures, both for the afternoon highs and the overnight lows. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Wenatchee School Board member Catherine Thomas will not face removal or any other discipline for that matter over her residency status. School Board President Maria Iniguez announced on Tuesday that while Thomas and her family have relocated to Texas, and she's been attending meetings from Texas via Zoom, Thomas still asserts that her primary residence is here in Wenatchee. Thomas accused Iniguez and fellow board members Laura Jakes and Martin Barron of conspiring to remove her with only a handful of board meetings remaining in her term.
So on October 16th, Dr. Kelleher, myself met with Catherine Thomas for a fact-finding meeting regarding Catherine's residency. The meeting was the result of the September 26th regular board meeting. During the meeting, I asked Catherine the following three questions, and I will follow up with her response. Where is your primary residence? And she identified Canyon Road, Wenatchee. What is your voter registration? Is your voter registration valid in the state of Washington and Chelan County? Her response was yes. Through your family's ongoing transition to Texas, do you feel that you have violated board policy 1113 or 1815 or any other policy in any way? Her response was no. So, given the responses, no further action will be taken by the board on this matter.
I'm embarrassed by it. Not because I've done anything wrong, but because members of this board are so politicized and petty that they would waste time, attention, and worst of all, the district's money, the students' money, taxpayers' money on this, frankly, garbage. I just find it so disheartening that this issue, this attention was given to this issue when there were literally 3 board meetings left. I have 1 board meeting left. So I just, I think it's worth considering maybe paying back the district for the funds that were wasted on this resolution.
Thanks to a vote by the Wenatchee School Board last year about its election process, every seat on the Wenatchee School Board is up for a vote this year. Only 3 of those seats are in a contested race. That includes the at-large seat. The at-large seat is the only seat that's being chosen by every voter in the Wenatchee School District. Our full interviews with incumbent Martin Barron and challenger Trissa Cleek are on our website, and they'll be airing right here through Election Day, November 7th. Here is a snippet of what they had to say.
The vote of the board that adopted districted elections, do you think that it was the proper decision to adopt districted elections? How do you think it helps the district overall?
I think it was an essential decision, and we were not the first people to take it. The city of Wenatchee took it earlier than we did, and wisely so. And in fact, our trajectory is very similar to what the city's was. The one thing we did not want to do is do what communities like Yakima did, which is dispute the Voting Rights Act, spend an awful lot of money, and still lose in the end. So it was a preemptive, wise, good move to do it, and then simply follow the law and the proper procedure. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a digression. People often think that school boards have almost legislative rights, but they don't. We start with the law, and all the policies need to be within the law, and you're guided within the law and Constitution. That's part of the oath. And so that very much is why we needed to do districts, to do it well. And I feel that this is actually campaigning. People get a sense of who's my rep, which they didn't have before.
Tell me what kind of ideology concerns you have about Wenatchee School District.
Well, there's a lot of very controversial ideologies, DEI, CRT, even the social emotional learning has some aspects of Marxist ideologies. They're very divisive. There's the haves and the have-nots, and privileged and not privileged, and it just pits people against one another, which I don't think those ideologies have any place in the public school system. I believe that the public school system, being funded by taxpayers, ought to be about academics.
What is it about DEI that is troublesome? And would you see yourself rolling back any movements that the school district has made toward diversity, equity, inclusion if you were elected?
Those words all on their surface are great. I mean, diversity is obviously everything. I mean, our population, our country is very diverse. Equity, we're all for equity. And inclusion, of course we want to include everyone. But underlying those ideologies are very divisive things, like I said, about Marxism with the haves and have-nots and that kind of stuff. I believe, for instance, that people of faith have a much harder challenge because their children are being taught, things that are anti-faith, like the world just evolved, there's no God.
Have you reviewed the curricula for what students are being taught in Wenatchee schools?
I haven't. I know what I was taught when I was in school, and I'm assuming it's pretty much, in the public school, it's the same.
But we haven't seen a curriculum in Wenatchee School District that says there is no God, evolution just happens.
And I don't know that.
Speaking of school boards, they're going to try again this February. The Eastmont School Board, on Monday night, greenlit a bond measure on the February ballot. If it passes, the funds from the bond will go towards updating learning spaces in older portions of Cascade, Kenroy, and Lee Elementaries, as well as making some significant improvements to Rock Island Elementary's campus. The board also made the decision to lower the amount of the bond measure to $117 million. Of course, in November of last year, they had a $185 million bond that did not get to the needed 60% super majority. Speaking of that, the Eastmont School District has announced the launch of a strategic plan. They're going to create a shared vision for student achievement within the Eastmont School District. The program involves a series of 6 projected meetings. The idea is to get combined input from students, parents, and staff. The first of these meetings was held back on October 10th and reviewed the responses of a survey on student characteristics. The next meeting, Election Day, November 7th. For a full schedule of the meetings, visit Eastmont School District's website. The state of Washington and 41 other states are suing Meta. Meta is the parent company of both Facebook and Instagram. The lawsuit alleged connections to teen mental health crises. Attorney General Bob Ferguson announcing the state's involvement on Tuesday. The federal lawsuit accuses Meta of knowingly targeting youth with harmful features to maximize their engagement with the company's social media platforms while downplaying the risks. In teenagers, excessive social media use correlates with instances of depression, anxiety, and risk of self-harm. The states are asking a judge to force Meta to enhance its safety standards for young users. Meta, not surprisingly, denies the claims in the lawsuit, says it's focused on user safety. And finally, 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse said on Wednesday that he was proud to vote for Republican Mike Johnson of Louisiana to become the new Speaker of the House. The GOP-led chamber has been at an impasse over the speakership since the removal of Kevin McCarthy back on October 3rd. Johnson received 220 votes for the speakership. Back in 2021, he led the House Republican effort, including Dan Newhouse, who signed a legal brief to the Supreme Court seeking to invalidate election results in 4 states and restore Donald Trump to the presidency. That effort, of course, failed, and after the January 6th insurrection, Newhouse became one of 10 Republicans who voted to impeach the former president. That's the news at 18 minutes after the hour. If you are interested in finding out what the heck's going on around the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington, that's what we have a newscast for. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV, 5, 6, and 10 on television. If that doesn't fit into your busy schedule, the news will be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our Facebook page, and on our YouTube page. So if you have access to the internet, and I think you do, you can watch the news whenever you want. And if you have access to the internet, and I think you do, you can also send us an email if something out there warrants our attention, news at ncwlife.com. Sports, the obscure holidays, some celebrity birthdays today in history, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, pause for pets, and the Haunted Museum. It's all coming up between now and the top of the hour. You're watching the Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
Do you even remember to water the house plants? I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Crystal's Intimate Lounge in downtown Leavenworth is a wonderful place to enjoy mouth-watering appetizers and drinks while socializing, watching sports, playing bingo, pull tabs, or simply relaxing while enjoying the breathtaking mountain views. Crystal's family-friendly restaurant has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's restaurant, lounge, and event space is located 2 blocks west of downtown Leavenworth on Highway 2.
21 minutes after the hour in sports, he's back. You remember this guy, Frank Clark, second-round draft pick from a bunch of years ago? Well, he's coming back to Seattle, the free agent. Most recently played for Denver. He's going to fill the spot for injured edge rusher Uchenna Nwosu. Of course, Nwosu got hurt, and they weren't going to replace him originally. They were just going to make do with what they have. But now they changed their mind. Coach Pete Carroll says he's happy to have the former Seattle draft pick back in the Emerald City.
Uchenna is going to get surgery, and so that will be a season ending for him. And there's a spot there. We had a shot with Frank and having background history with him. It's a natural spot for him to play with us and see if he can get in the rotation and help us out. We'll see how it goes. He knows exactly the position that we're asking him to play. We think the transition to fit in to the spot, playing outside backer spot and rushing in the 4-3 stuff, it just fits naturally. His experience is important with such a young group of guys that he's with now. So I'm hoping that we'll all fit together well.
Defensive coordinator Clint Hurd says Clark knows our defensive schemes. He knows our defensive system. He's going to fit in right away.
Obviously, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a strong relationship there, and obviously he's started his career as a Seahawk and spent a lot of time with them, so it's an exciting time to get him back. Wish the circumstances were different, for why it worked out, but it's great to have him, or how it worked out, but it's great that we have him here.
How do you think he'll be able to help you guys right now?
In terms of, he knows technique-wise and all the things, the expectations of the position. A lot of it is just getting caught up on lingo and things of that nature. So Frank was always a sharp guy, so I don't expect there to be any issues.
Clark left the Seahawks back in 2018, went to Kansas City. Smart move because he won a couple of Super Bowls, but he's back. Bobby Wagner says it's fun to watch Clark mature, and he's glad he's back in the big city, too.
Just how passionate he was about the game, the energy that he played with, the game. At that time he was growing a lot as a person, and just seeing the growth that he had over the years is just special. And then just watching it from afar, when he was with KC and things of that nature, it's just been really cool to follow his career and follow all the things that he's been able to accomplish.
What is it about the environment or Coach Carroll that brings guys back?
I think it's the culture. I definitely feel like it's the culture. Just the energy that you bring. A lot of times, like when I was first coming into the league and was around for a while, we start adding guys from different teams. They will always say, like, this was a special place and this is not like anywhere else. And, at the time, like, I didn't have that experience. I didn't know anything else but what I was experiencing. So I think a lot of it is that you go to other places, you realize how special this place is, and, you hope to not burn a bridge. So if an opportunity presents itself, you're able to come back.
Clark may be in the lineup this weekend when the Seahawks take on the 4-2 Browns at Lumen Field. Don't know yet if he's actually going to play. Coach Pete says, yeah, Cleveland, they're pretty good.
We got a big matchup coming up. Excited about it because these guys are so good. They've got some stuff that they're working through as well. What a great matchup for us, and it's the kind of matchup that you got to have if you're going to do anything with the season. You got to play teams that are like this, and so we'll look forward to seeing the Browns come in and see if we can get ready for another big night or big day at Lumen. So we're looking forward to all that. It's a little bit of a bright time for us in that there's a number of guys who come back to practice, and we've been kind of waiting and hoping that we're going to get a little bit of lift, and we may feel that. It felt like it just going through the walkthrough just to see some guys that have been on the sidelines for a while. So we'll be excited to see them go to practice and see if they can make it through and have a chance to help us here soon. So that's a real positive for us right now.
Seahawks and Browns Sunday afternoon, 1:05 on Fox. The Seattle Kraken continue their 4-game road trip. They're in North Carolina tonight. They're wanting a little revenge. Remember, this team beat the Kraken at home last week, 7-4. The puck drops at the PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, 4 o'clock. You can watch it on Root Sports Northwest. All right, to the preps we go. Postseason playoffs begin for the Bees in girls soccer today. Bridgeport plays at Brewster at 3:45 in the first round of the District 6 1B 2B tournament. The other first-round game features Liberty Bell Epiceris. It'll be at 5. Both games, if you lose, you're done. After a play-in win on Tuesday, Ephrata, they're in the District 5 and 6 2A tournament. They have a first-round game at East Valley. They'll get going at 5 o'clock tonight. The District 6 1B volleyball tournament continues today, both in Aniat and Waterville. The 5:30 matchups have Moses Lake Christian taking on Soap Lake, while Riverside Christian takes on Wilson Creek. And then at 7, you got Easton and Aniat doing battle, while Waterville Mansfield will host Thorpe. Again, just like the others, today's games are all loser-out contests. And in 2B play in volleyball, Brewster visits Okanagan at 6:30. All right, another league action tonight. Ephrata hosts Prosser at 6:30. Quincy will host Kittitas in a non-league match at 6:30. Wenatchee celebrates senior night, taking on Ike at 7. And Eastmont is on the road at Davis, also at 7 o'clock. And the big one is tomorrow night. Number 1 Moses Lake, number 3 Eastmont. It's basically a game of run versus pass. The Wildcats' Gunnar Peterson is averaging 164 yards per game, has 1,318 yards and 11 touchdowns. Eastmont is 8-0. Maverick quarterback Brady J has passed for 2,605 yards and 43 touchdowns. He's averaging 325 passing yards a game. They will meet for the regular season Big 9 championship, last regular season game of the year. Boy, that worked out good, didn't it? We'll have it live for you, 6:30 at Wildcat Stadium with Eric and Brandon and Grant. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Wear your long johns, and those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 27 minutes after the hour, happy National Mincemeat Day, happy National Mule Day. It's Financial Crime Fighter Day. If you see my checking account, that's a crime right there. But today we celebrate the pumpkin for any number of reasons. Of course, it's Halloween, and the pumpkin and Halloween kind of got together because pumpkins, for the most part, are harvested in October. Worked out pretty good. Pumpkins are native to North America. They found pumpkin seeds in Mexico dating back to the year 7000 BC. It is Greek for large melon, is what that basically means. Of course, for the Native Americans, the pumpkin was a must grow because pumpkins had a long shelf life. Pumpkins, squash, zucchini, anything that they could grow, harvest in the fall, and then eat all winter long to keep them alive. It is believed that Christopher Columbus was the one who brought pumpkin seeds from the Americas back to Europe after he visited the continent. And of course, we associate pumpkins with October, which means Halloween. It is thought that the Irish and Scottish immigrants were the ones who came up with the idea of cutting open a pumpkin and carving it and calling them jack-o'-lanterns. By the way, pumpkins are really good for you if you need vitamin A and potassium. Packed full of those. And pumpkins are 90% water. If you're into pumpkins, today's your day. Today. I love pumpkin pie. Haven't had one of those in a long time. Getting hungry. 28 minutes after the hour today in history. Boy, a lot went on. Without question, until the interstate highway system was constructed in the 50s and the 60s, this was the game changer, the most significant public works maybe in this country's history. The 363-mile Erie Canal opened for business on the state in 1825, 198 years ago today. And this was the game changer for any number of reasons. Direct access from the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes via the Erie Canal. Markets all over the world now had access to all the food, all the farm products, wheat, whatever was being grown in the Midwest. but they couldn't get out of the Midwest. You got to get them to where the people are. That was problematic. Here's an example. Before the Erie Canal was built, to ship 1 ton of wheat from Buffalo, New York to New York City would take 3 weeks and cost $100 a ton. After the Erie Canal, it took 7 days and it cost $6 a ton. All of a sudden, people had access to cheap food, and all the manufactured goods on the East Coast of the United States could be shipped inland to the Great Plains and Chicago and what have you. And of course, it also made New York City, which is right smack dab in the middle of that shipping lane. The Erie Canal, this was a game changer. Opened 198 years ago today. A lot of people don't know this, but Norway and Sweden were at one time together. There's the flag of Norway and Sweden. Well, they got divorced on this date in 1905. King Oscar II of Sweden said, Norway, we don't love you anymore, we're filing for divorce. And the divorce was finalized. That's the combined flag of Norway and Sweden, and their divorce was finalized on this date. I don't know, do they have to do a parenting plan? Okay, you visit, one country gets to visit the other kid like every other weekend and Wednesdays. I don't know how that works. Anyway, the divorce between Norway and Sweden was finalized. The union between Norway and Sweden became dissolved. I didn't even know they were married 118 years ago today. It took long enough. October 26, 1960, that would make it 63 years ago today. After 57 years of 8 teams in the National League and 8 teams in the American League for a 16-team Major League Baseball expansion finally comes to Major League Baseball. They announced that the Washington Senators would move to the Twin Cities and become the Minnesota Twins, and they would bring in 2 new franchises, a new franchise to replace the departing Washington Senators, and a new franchise in Los Angeles called the Angels. Both teams would begin play in 1961. Expansion finally comes to Major League Baseball after 57 years. 58 years ago today, Queen Elizabeth II bestowed upon the Beatles their MBEs, members of the British Empire. This was very controversial, especially among all the war heroes and all the old stuffy old white men in Great Britain who had their MBEs. You mean you're going to give it a rock and roll group? According to legend, and John Lennon said this originally and then he backed off on that, the 4 Beatles were so nervous before their inventure ceremony that they went into one of the restrooms at Buckingham Palace and got stoned. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. They look kind of high, don't they? The Beatles get their MBEs on this date in 1965. Baseball, another World Series game I'll never forget watching live on television. Game 6 of the 1985 World Series, the Cardinals and the Royals. One of the most controversial calls in Major League Baseball history. The St. Louis Cardinals were on the very cusp of beating the Royals in Game 6 and winning the World Championship. Here's how the 9th inning unfolded.
Little squibber to the right side. Worrell races over to cover. The throw doesn't get him. Worrell got to the bag and an argument here, and here comes Herzog amongst the other quartet. First base umpire is Denkinger, American League.
Well, this is spring training all over again. Any ball to the right side, you get there as quick as you can. I think he tries to go for the ball. His argument is he gets the side of the bag. Looks like he's out.
From that angle, let's take a look from this one.
Again, Clark with the toss.
Oh, yes.
Right on top of the bag.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it.
The Royals would go on to score 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the game 2-1 to force a Game 7, which they also won. The umpire, Don Denkinger, got death threats from St. Louis Cardinal fans, not just immediately after the World Series, but for quite some time afterwards. They take their baseball very seriously in St. Louis. It wasn't Don Denkinger's fault. St. Louis blew it as much as anything else, the 1985 World Series. One of the great days of my life as an adult. On this date, 1996. I'm a Yankee fan. I've been a Yankee fan since I was just a little kid. We hadn't won the World Championship since 1978. So after an 18-year drought, it was pure bliss. I'll tell you what exactly I was doing and what happened after you watch the final out of the 1996 World Series.
Another chance to the left side. Hayes waits. The Yankees are champions of baseball.
A night I will never forget. Saturday night, October 26, 1996. I was at my family cabin up at Lake Wenatchee with a few of my friends. Knowing I'm a diehard Yankee fan, we hadn't won in 18 years. I never lost faith, but the Yankees went through a pretty bad period in the 80s and into the early 90s. But they poured champagne over my head after the final out. It was a great day. And finally, 5 years ago today, I remember this day because we were doing a football game here on the NCAA Life Channel. And I got home and got relaxed and sat down and poured myself a drink and turned on Game 3 of the World Series to find out what was going on. And it was still going on. 18 innings, 8 hours of baseball. There's no clock in baseball. Here's how Game 3 of the 2018 World Series ended.
Game 4 start, but it ends up being almost a Game 3 start.
Muncy flies one in the air to left center. Back at the wall, and it's gone! It's over! Muncy, a walk-off home run to win Game 3 in the 18th. Night.
And that, my friends, is why I watch every game of the World Series every year, even if my team isn't in it. Best sporting event in America. Let's do some birthdays. You know, Charlie's Angels. Where were we? Farrah? Everybody was into Farrah. Kate Jackson had her fans. I was a Jacqueline Smith guy. She was my favorite angel of Charlie's Angels. She is 78 years old. In 1979, McCall's Magazine did a poll of their readers saying, whose face would you like to have? If you could have any face in the world, and Jacqueline Smith came in at number 1. I can see that. She's 78 years old today. Keith Urban from New Zealand, 18 number 1 hits on the Billboard Country Chart. He is 56 years old today. And for you fans of the Ivory Coast national soccer team, you all know that today is Abu Dhabi Bama's birthday, so happy birthday to Abu Dhabi Ajman. That guy, he's 35 today. All right, going to take a break. Got an opinion from my Mad Dog McNarty. Mark Belton will be joining me. He's the guy who helps put together the Haunted Museum at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. It's a cool event. He'll talk about that. But first things first, Wally the dog needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Coordinator, and this is Wally Walrus. We've had Wally for about 2 weeks now. He came to us as a stray, and we think he might be some kind of a, I don't know, boxer, pit, terrier, stuffed animal combo. He's a little gray in the face, but he has amazing teeth. So we think he's maybe like 6 or 7. He certainly has the energy of a younger dog, but he's very healthy and he's been neutered, and he's so lovey. We think he's gonna go fast, so you should get here to check him out. But Wally knows his tricks. He knows how to sit and how to lay down, and he knows how to snuggle. Wally gets along good with dogs. We don't know about cats. He gets along the best with people. He'll follow you all around, and he'll bring his favorite squeaky stuffed animal, and he just wants to be near you all the time. Yeah, right. He loves scratches and pets. Yeah, he does. He's very good on walks. He loves, like I said, he just loves being with people. And we know that there's a great home out there for him. So if you would like to come meet Wally, we are open Thursday through Tuesday, 11 till 6, and we would love for you to come.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Get your favorite beverage and a wide variety of food choices all under one big roof at the Tap Room in Pybus. The Tap Room has the most popular choices for lunch and dinner in the Valley. With unique appetizers, salads, sandwiches, and tasty rice bowls, everybody will find a new favorite dish. Plus many craft beers from Hellbent Brewing, or you can choose wine, cider, or a delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly Tap Room at Pybus for yourself. It's just what you've been looking for.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hey, this is Mike, Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I've always been pretty conservative, going back to my long hair hippie days, and I guess I always will be, but for the last 2 presidential elections, I did not vote Republican, and if what's-his-face is the nominee this time around, I won't vote Republican again. Now, some of my Democrat friends will say, oh, you're finally coming around. Well, the truth is I'm not coming anywhere. I haven't changed much at all. Quite frankly, it's the Republican Party that's changed, and they're driving me away. And the Democrats haven't been all that attractive either. And I don't think I'm the only one who thinks this way. This is Mike, Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of NCW Towing. Tickets are on sale now for the annual Festival of Trees to benefit the Namerica Performing Arts Center. The Festival of Spirits is on Wednesday, November 15th. Teddy Bear Time is on Saturday, November 18th. The Tannenbaum Auction is on Sunday, November 19th, and the two Swanky Soirees on Friday and Saturday night. Free events include the viewing of trees itself and the Christmas karaoke competition on Thursday, the 16th.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. A disclaimer, the following interview may contain bright flashing lights, lasers, fog machines, scent devices, loud noises, startling effects, confined spaces, stairs, and dark areas. If any of this concerns you, please do not watch the following conversation. Is that good, Mr. Contract Writer Mark Belton?
That sounds right.
All right. Mark Belton is the creative force behind the big haunt at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. Just had their first weekend. It was a big success. Second weekend is coming up in a special Halloween edition for the kids. It's good to see you again, my friend.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
First question, we were here last year at this time to talk about the Haunted Museum. What is new and what is the same from last year?
Well, the building's the same, but everything inside is reimagined and redone to give kind of a new set of thrills to everyone.
Some of the effects are the same, but you're going to be going in a slightly different direction as you work your way through the hallways and the bowels and the upstairs and the downstairs of this building, right?
Correct. Yep, we're using some areas that have never been used here before, actually have hardly ever been seen. We had to dust the cobwebs off of some of the areas to bring them to everyone. So.
Well, it's a haunted museum. Why didn't you keep the cobwebs there?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we said. We left everything on the sides. We just made a path through the middle.
Mark, how did you get involved in this to begin with? We talked about this last year. it takes a lot of creativity, it takes a lot of manpower and a lot of volunteers. Why are you involved in this haunted museum to begin with?
Well, I'm involved in the theater here in Wenatchee Valley. I'm a board member for Music Theater of Wenatchee, and had an idea to try out one year, and so I volunteered as a monster and liked it so much that I stuck around, and here I am. It takes a huge force to make this happen, a lot of volunteers, a lot of hours. It's hundreds of man hours put into building and designing and decorating to make this come to life.
But a lot of creativity too. It gives you a chance to really shine in that department, doesn't it?
It does, yep. We love to see the volunteers that turn out, that come up with their ideas, and we try to take all that and craft it into something new for everyone.
And this building, and there's a lot of unique buildings, old historic buildings all over the Wenatchee Valley. This building's like perfect to have a haunt like this. You got two big buildings that takes up almost an entire city block. You got the annex to go in and out of. This building's like a dream come true, isn't it? It
starts off scary. That's the shtick I tell everyone when they come in, is that the building's already scary. We've just added to it. It scares me. I don't like to be here all by myself.
Are you hearing noises? You think there might be some spirits about?
It's something you should ask. Everyone knows that. We'll find
really?
it. Yeah, Hazel, she's here, so.
Ooh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. The first weekend was fantastic, and this is one of the things we need to stress. You got to get your tickets in advance, because for the two really busy days, my guess is the 28th and 29th are going to be especially busy. You want to buy your tickets in advance and not walk up at the door and fork over $20 and hope you're going to get in. And there's a reason for that, Mark. Tell people about that.
Yeah, that's correct. So tickets online are $15 each. At the door, they're $20. We are open from 6 to 9 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you can show up anytime within that window. You don't have to show up right at 6 o'clock.
If you get your tickets in advance.
Right. Yep, and so we have a list, and we could sell out those days. We are hoping for another huge weekend. So come and enjoy some time with us. We do have a scare garden here with beer donated from Wenatchee Valley Brewery and other non-alcoholic options for the kids. And so come and enjoy. We've got a scare cam going so you can watch some people go through the haunt. We have the organ playing creepy music. It's a good time.
How long does it take to go through the haunt so people can plan out their evening around dinner before and then, you know, revelry afterwards?
Yeah.
What's the time commitment
It's a
there?
good question. So groups average between 15 and 25 minutes depending on how slow they're going through. Yep. We do have a new system that we're trying out this year that allows people to check in and then get a text message when their time is coming up. So they can check in here, get on the list, and then go and have dinner if they wanted and pop back. So that's always a good option.
Group of 6 seems to be about that happy medium, isn't it? Because you do go in groups of 6. So if you have a party of more than 6 people, you're going to be split up, right?
Yes, we're a little flexible. If you maybe show up and there's just 8 of you, we'll try to squeeze you through, but 6 is normally our max. So we do see groups get split up. We are not combining groups this year, so if you show up in a group of 2, you're going to get to go through and get all of the scares just between the 2 of you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a sweet deal. What was the challenges of keeping it fresh and new? Because you want the people who did this last year to come back again. If you do the same thing all over again, at the same scare, in the same room, at the same time, at the same place, it's you know, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
So you have to keep it fresh.
It is completely renewed. I've talked to several groups that went through last weekend that have come every year, and they all said it's just as good, if not better, this year, and everything was different. So don't miss out year to year. We change it all.
What is the scare factor? I mean, what do people need to be prepared of? I mean, if you're really into getting scared, you're going to have a good time. But if it might not be your thing, maybe you think twice about it, or?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing in this haunt is that if you are not a fan of being in the dark, I would not recommend it. So we have a lot of dark areas in this year's haunt.
Okay, more than last year.
A lot more.
Yeah, more than last year. And let's talk about Halloween proper. Now, you're going to do a special hunt for the kids on Halloween Day. Talk about that.
As
we hear
correct.
the kids in the background.
As we do. Yep, they're coming downstairs. So when the Av is doing their trick-or-treating, 3 to 5, we will open the Haunted Museum up with the lights on and have a not-so-haunted event. So we encourage you, if your kids are too small to come through during the normal days, to come on that day between 3 and 5, and we will let you see behind the scenes and check it out.
That's cool. And for the kids, it's free, right?
Yep, that day will be completely free.
And do you do the same thing as the kids in groups of 6, or is it just because all the lights are on, it doesn't really matter?
Yep, we'll just walk them through.
Okay, and you have some Easter eggs hidden throughout the hunt for the kids too, right?
It's always. You can't have trick-or-treating without some treats.
And so they're going to be scattered about, and they got to find them, that kind of deal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of volunteers. Hopefully it'll be a fun day for everyone.
Anything else we need to know about the Haunted Museum as we get closer? Well, we've already done one weekend. As we
We've
get
already done one.
weekend.
We had a really big day Saturday, so if you're planning, feel free to call the museum to see kind of what the sales are, plan your day, and get online and get those tickets before they sell out.
Again, just go to the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center's website. It's right there on the front page. October 27th, 28th, and 29th. 28th and 29th is going to be exceptionally busy, so get your tickets in advance. And again, you can sell out. I mean, it's not like you're taking everybody who buys a ticket. That doesn't work that way. And if you show up with $20 in your pocket thinking you might get in on the 28th or the 29th, you might be out of luck.
That is correct. Yep, we will sell out. We're selling them. We have about 250 tickets per night that we're selling. So.
By the way, you should not enter this attraction if you have asthma, heart conditions, or prone to seizures, physical ailments, respiratory, or any type of medical problems. If you are pregnant, are you pregnant, Mark?
Not today.
I am not pregnant. If you suffer any form of mental disorder,
we might leave you in the haunt. That's what I tell everyone. If you have a medical emergency, just pull yourself to the side and look scary, because we need to use your body for the next group.
And one more thing, you got to thank your volunteers and everybody, the folks who are actually involved in the haunt. You got about 20 people that you will interact with as you go through the haunt at the museum, but the people behind the scenes who help you do the set decorations and the special effects and the lighting. Is there any, you got to send out some huge kudos to some folks, don't you?
Well, a huge shout out to my family who endures this time with me as I'm gone so often. Our assistant director, Allie McGee, is amazing, and our set builder, Martin Talbot, has been instrumental in making this come to life.
And by the way, in case you're curious, all the money goes to the museum. This is a big fundraiser for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of their largest fundraisers. We're really excited to do it.
So why do you do this? Why do you sacrifice all this time and all this effort? It's all volunteer hours. You're not getting a dime out of this thing, so why do you do it?
It's true. I love see the look on these families' faces and these people's faces as we throw them in and, you know, shut the door, and just they're both thrilled, and then by the time it's over, they're exhausted from, you know, walking through and being scared, and everyone's just having a great time.
Mark Belton is what's your official title for this whole operation?
Director.
Director.
Yeah.
Generally in charge of many, many things.
Yes, that's true.
We'll just call it, except you can't fit that on a business card. Let's scare the bejesus out of folks, all right?
Let's do it.
And have fun doing it.
Yeah.
All right. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At coldwellbanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At coldwellbanker.com.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Need a break from reality? Central Washington Water has a showroom full of possibilities. Ask about a saltwater system for a more natural approach to water care. They use less chemicals and have less maintenance. Free-flow plug-and-play spas make it simple and affordable to get you soaking. At Central Washington Water, there's a hot tub for every space and every budget. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
Seeing a few high clouds floating around up there. We are at 37 degrees still here in the big city. Hasn't changed one bit since this show began. We'll do the complete weather forecast in just a couple of seconds, but first things first, if you entered yesterday's Winning Wednesday drawing for those Wenatchee Wild ticket vouchers, really, really good seats between the blue lines, premium seats, 4 of them for any future Wenatchee Wild hockey game you want to go to, regular season home game. Didn't do the drawing yesterday, so I'm going to do it right now. So I have the, on small little pieces of paper, the email addresses of everybody who entered. And by the way, I appreciate some of the comments that people do on their emails when they enter for Winning Wednesday. Complimenting the show, or I watch the show every day, or we really enjoy it. Does that increase the odds of me drawing your email address out of this bucket? Yes. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't. No. It's nice to hear, but anyway. Here we go. 4 Wenatchee Wild ticket vouchers. And the winner is Kersnog Kerflotsning. Oh, it's upside down again. Here we go. It's Pat. Congratulations, Pat. I will be getting hold of you, Pat. I'll put this aside. Pat is the winner. We'll do Winning Wednesday again next week. And thanks to the Wenatchee Wild. Again, I can't tell you how good these seats are, so it's pretty cool for them to make that happen from us. Cold, very cold. Record-breaking low temperatures, a distinct possibility. Friday night into Saturday and Saturday night into Sunday. Overnight lows are going to be in the mid-20s, and that's just about near record low temperatures. Some locations are going to see overnight lows in the teens over the weekend. Those are those areas that are susceptible to cold overnight lows. So blow out your sprinkler system. Make sure your heater is working good, your furnace, because you are going to need it in the overnight hours. In fact, even during the daylight hours, for that matter, because even though we're going to have bountiful sunshine, it's going to be cold. High pressure is building into the region with clear skies, and when that happens, lots of sunshine, but very cold conditions because there's no clouds to act like a blanket to keep the heat in. From the National Weather Service, here we go. As the day progresses, we'll see more and more sunshine. We'll get up to around 45 degrees. Snow level tonight is going to go all the way down to 800 feet, but there's also no moisture in the air, so we're not looking at any snow tonight. 29 for the overnight low. Again, these are well below normal for our afternoon highs and our overnight lows. Bountiful sunshine for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Cold overnight lows, cold afternoon highs. The high pressure will begin to break down Tuesday and Wednesday, which is also about the time we're going to start warming up to where we should be for early November. And that's it for us. Have yourself a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
And one incumbent are in the race to be the mayor of Leavenworth for the next 4 years with this November election. I'm joined right now by the incumbent mayor, Carl Flory. You've been working with the problem of housing affordability for quite some time,
right?
Even previous to your mayorship.
Right.
Can you talk about what steps you've been able to make in your first term and what you'd like to see accomplished on that front in the second term?
If we're going to house and affordably house a workforce, they're going to be smaller units. There's going to be, cottages. There's going to be the idea that you can build affordable single-family homes on a single-family lot. That ship sailed. That's not possible. The cost of them, just the cost alone, makes it impossible. So you need small.